Welcome back to Ravens Today. I'm your host, Connor Gioffreda, and if your bracket is as busted as mine, heading into the Final Four, just tune into the show, man. Subscribe to the channel, like the video. Let's dive into the latest. So usually we start with comments at the end of the video, and now we're probably going to start it with the first because there were a lot of good comments in the last video. So I had mentioned in the last video that we should sign for DJ Reader, who had recently visited with the Ravens not too long ago, and a lot of people seem to agree. Someone said, I hope that we can sign him and get another receiver. Thank you. We need a big-bodied wide receiver. Absolutely. If we sign DJ Reader, he's a great run blocker. Not a good with the sacks, but he's able to get pressure on the quarterback, and that's what we need. So assigning DJ Reader to a one-year deal would do wonders for this Ravens team. I don't know, again, what happens behind closed doors when the visits do happen, so maybe we can get something going. And the Ravens do have money in the vault for the free agency. This wouldn't exactly be a big hit for us. DJ Reader's 31 years old, heading into the twilight of his career. We can give him, some contention with him wanting to get a Super Bowl ring, and we're a perfect team for that. The intention is there that we want to win a Super Bowl now and not wait 5 or 6 years. So if he should, sign a year $6 million deal with the Ravens or a year $10 million deal with incentives to the Ravens, and he'd be a perfect addition to this defensive line. Someone else mentioned I trade for him every year in Madden. That's a great comment because I also do the same thing. I like to get DJ Reader on my team because, again, he's still very good. Someone said bring DeAndre Hopkins back, and someone else also said we need to re-sign D-Hop. I have said that, again, we need a big-bodied wide receiver, but I do also believe that DeAndre Hopkins should be a no-brainer of a re-sign. Just give him another chance. That's what I think the Ravens should do, and especially with this completely revamped offense where I really do believe that we're going to get a lot more out of DeAndre Hopkins, like what we saw at the beginning of the season last season, where he really stood out and made some prime DeAndre Hopkins catches, and then after the first 2 games just disappeared. Mostly because the offense didn't revolve around him, which again is okay because he's not a wide receiver 1 for the Ravens, but he was just never used. And DeAndre Hopkins said it himself that he still has a lot to give, and he felt like that the Ravens offense just didn't provide him with a chance with that. And that's the reason why he would come back, is if they can give him that. Which I'm like, why? Yeah, do it. Look what he did at the beginning of the season, man. It is weird that he was the guy. It was prime DeAndre Hopkins in the first 2 games of the season with that touchdown catch against the Bills, and then that one against the Browns, which should have been a touchdown if we're all being honest. And he can be used in the red zone. I keep saying it. Just toss it in the back corner. DeAndre Hopkins is going to come down with it. But thank you for all the support on the DeAndre Hopkins campaign, because I really do believe that we should bring him back. 1 year, $6 million deal. Again, does nothing towards our free agency cap, so why not? Moving on here. So there's been a Marlon Humphrey dilemma. Is Marlon Humphrey a good trade asset for the Ravens? Mind you, he'll be turning 31 in a few months, and 30 is for a corner it's getting up there. And mind you, he has a 26.2 cap hit come June 1st when the designation hits. The Ravens can restructure his contract again to lower that. But from the last 2 seasons, he really has decreased in the level that we have been known to see him in. He let a 36-year-old Adam Thielen get the better of him. Nothing against Adam Thielen, but we all saw that. And I feel like the Ravens can definitely get another corner, whether it's in the draft or the free agency, that can't meet the same caliber he does. But at the same time, be enough for the Ravens, if that makes sense. Like, we have Chidobe Awuzie back, Nate Wiggins, we have Malachi Starks, we have Kyle Hamilton, and TJ Tampa. All these guys that have proven at some level or another that they can be fantastic players on our defense. Mind you, Jesse Minter and Anthony Weaver together. These two guys are going to create things together. Mind you, maybe we can get one more year out of Marlon Humphrey. One more, just to see, okay, we got a new defensive coordinator who knows what he's doing. We have a head coach who was a defensive coordinator who completely changed the Chargers defense, and maybe we can finally get something out of him where it's like, okay, if that were to be the case, then it was all on the coaching staff. That it just makes a lot more sense that it was because of the changes in coaching staff and the inexperience in the coaching staff with Zach Orr as to why Marlon Humphrey's decline was so detrimental to the Ravens. It was one of those like, dude, what are you doing type of things. We've seen you play way better than this, and you look like you're lost out there. And if we give him one more chance at this, restructure the contract, lower the cap hit, or I'm not saying we don't take offers. You know, if something sweet comes around, we should take it. But at the same time, what if it was all on the coaching staff as to why Marlon Humphrey's decline was very eye-opening? I'm just saying. Now with the new coaching staff, maybe he can get back to form. I mean, I would love that. Imagine that. Like, it would just completely, at least for me, it would be like, yep, that confirms it. That definitely confirms it. That it wasn't all on him. But we have to wait and see. Considering the fact that the cap hit is $26.2 million, some decisions have to be made. On the topic of the defense, by the way, Jesse Minter came out and talked about how Trey Hendrickson will completely change the Ravens' defense. He said that Trey Hendrickson is absolutely going to be a key part of the Ravens' defense because Trey Hendrickson, quote, he has the second most sacks in the fourth quarter since 2021. Quote, an area we want to improve and finish our games. We've had more leads in fourth quarters than any team in the last 5 years. Oh my gosh. Can we talk about that a little bit here? Because, one, we need a guy like that. We need Trey Hendrickson. So, a guy that can get to the quarterback and close out games for us instead of letting us get blown out 19 times is a crucial part of the Ravens. And Jesse Minter sees that. That is the biggest thing. He really understands, like, hey, we've had... I feel like there was a little bit of shade thrown here. Look back at the quote. We've had more leads in the fourth quarter than any team in the last 5 years. He didn't have to say the obvious part, too, where we lost 19 of those games because of blown leads. And now we have a guy that is guaranteed to help close us out in games. And Trey Hendrickson. I can't help but feel there was a little bit of shade thrown. Just a little bit. And I'm all for it. Jesse Minter noticed the obvious problem, and he was like, okay, let's get a guy that... We have a guy that can that can help us make sure that doesn't happen anymore. And we will close out our games way more because of him. And can't help but feel like there was some shade thrown. There was some shade thrown at John Harbaugh, which brings us to the final point. This is going to be this right here. When John Harbaugh came out and said what he said, I literally can't. It got my blood boiling. Let's just say that. It really did. John Harbaugh on the 20, he was up on a panel for questions about the New York Giants and John Harbaugh on the 2025 Ravens. I took a lot of pride in what we did. I took a lot of pride in this season. Honestly, as a coaching staff, it might have been our best job this year coaching this team. Terrible. I do that because it's not true. I thought we did a great job, but it wasn't good enough. I'm going to try and keep it professional. I intentionally threw those hairballs because it's like, no, you weren't. No, you are literally the biggest choker of a head coach, and it's factual. It is factual that you just can't close out games when you're leading in the fourth quarter. So there just is no accountability. He should go into politics after coaching. He should go into politics. There's just no accountability about anything he says. None. He is a coach that strictly never puts the blame on himself. I have never once heard him say, this was on me. This was on me, and I just, whatever the game plan was, I thought it would work, and I insisted on it, and it was on me that we didn't change it, and it's not at all on the players or on the rest of the coaching staff. It's on me. No accountability whatsoever. I cannot fathom how the one sentence that really made me go, this guy is why, dude, Giants fans, good luck. Honestly, as a coaching staff, it might have been our best job this year coaching this team. No, it was not. It was not. Mind you, injuries do happen. Those can happen. But when you are unwilling to make changes at the offensive line, which is what every media outlet said, every fan said, even opposing team fans said, and you refuse. Not to mention, you are defending Zach Orr, who is very inexperienced at the defensive coordinator position, and still defended him after everything that happened on the defense. And still, it's like we did our best job as a coaching staff. It's like, no, you did not. No, you did not. I cannot express this enough. You did not do any changes that convinced any Ravens fan that said at least he tried. No. Now that you're on the Giants, again, I will keep saying this, Giants fans, good luck, because at some point you are going to understand the pain of losing in the fourth quarter when you're up by 2 scores. You're going to understand that, and then you're going to see John Harbaugh get up on the podium and say, we've got to be better. There's no we about it. It is the coaching staff that needs to come up with a game plan that either needs to be changed at some point in the middle of the game because it's not working, or it was just the wrong game plan for a team, and then you just say, listen, we had a game plan that I thought would work, and it's on me. So, mind you, this is a Ravens channel, and we talk about all things Ravens, and him bringing up the 2025 Ravens as the best coaching staff he's ever seen, and it wasn't enough in terms of how the players played. It's what are you talking about? This I could go on a rant with anyone here about it, but comment down below your thoughts on that, because that is one of the most there's just no accountability whatsoever with John Harbaugh. Again, he'll go into politics eventually because I'm like, when I read that. But now we have a new coaching staff that I'm really looking forward to seeing how they do, and they know what they're doing, it seems, and they are addressing the needs that we have been begging for years. So thank you for tuning in to Ravens Today. I'm your host, Connor Gioffreda. Again, subscribe to the channel, like the video. Really do appreciate it. Have a good one, everyone.